Hey everybody, this is Al with El Ray Collection. Sitting around, got a bunch of just stuff, so decided we will just open it and see if anybody has any questions as we go. I just dropped at least what I think is an interesting video on Messi rookies as well, so you can have a look there. I had a few different packages, some mail, expensive mail now coming in from overseas. Have some auction house reviews. I got the PSA return of the other cards from my break of the Mega Cracks and the Mega Cracks. Well, the Mega Cracks and the Mega Cracks. The Ronaldo and Messi boxes, so you'll be able to see some of those. So just a lot of stuff. Feel free to come and go as you please. Actually, since literally I just did this and I'm like, hey, let's get on and do this because I want to clean up my my pile here. But if somebody has a preference, whether you'd rather see, I know we only got a couple people on, but if you'd rather, see kind of mail versus PSA versus auction house stuff, let me know. Otherwise, I will just kind of pick randomly here as we go and just start clearing the floor, so to speak. So let me get up the comments over here. All right, we got it. Any preferences? Any preferences? Okay. Well, you know what? I got these in my hand, so why don't we just take a look? Start clearing the stuff out. So this is kind of a fun one. I don't normally focus my collection on this type of stuff right here, but this is just a really kind of nice piece. Goes well with a very specific area of my collecting. And this is a mail from a purchase in the Discord. So, for those of you who don't know, please join the Discord, and we welcome you there. Lots of people who know a lot about soccer from all over the world. I should have a link below. If not, I'll add it later. You can check back or check one of my other videos. Like the break one, I'm nearly certain has that. So this one is a kind of fun set of autographs. Not a particularly this side isn't particularly interesting, but on this side we have autographs of the Ballet Azul, the from Colombia. So you've got Pedernera, Di Stefano, some really nice old. Look at this beautiful Di Stefano autograph here, and the Pedernera up here, Adolfo Pedernera right there. Just super clean autographs on this. So very, very fun. And you can see Millonarios de Bogotá. So that's the Millonarios Ballet Azul, which is, the blue due to the color of their jerseys. Ballet, because they were amazing on just amazing technical players out there. In Colombia, winning the Colombia League with many Argentine transplants due to the strike going on in Argentina. The next one is a DHL, and here it's coming from Argentina. I will definitely let you guys know if you are in the U.S., things are getting crazy with these new tariffs. Basically for this package, on top of the shipping, it was $17 to just pay to have DHL pay the duties, and the duties were like, on a $5 declared value, they were like a few dollars. So in total for this sticker is not very expensive. I was just going to see if I could show you the documents here. One soccer card valued at $5. You can see $5 right here is the value. Well, maybe you can't see, super small. They ultimately made me pay, you know, like 30 something dollars for the import. Most of those fees actually were DHL fees. So it's super annoying. And what that basically means from now on is that you have to have more. You need to buy more to pay for the high fixed costs of the importation. So anyway, just keep that in mind. It's a crazy time we live in. Very difficult to navigate some of this shipping stuff right now. So here we go. This is the sticker. Let me get some. We need some penny sleeves. We need some card savers over here. This is kind of fun. And here is, oh my Lord, we got him in the building. We got the champ. Yeah, I do pay tariffs, unfortunately. It just sucks. So, you know, I don't know, champ. Have you had any, I don't recall seeing any videos you've dropped lately. Have you been busy at the restaurant, or what's been going on there, brother? Oh, this one, hang on one second. This is the wrong one, I think. So this, which is a great sticker. Here's a Kempes rookie. That's nice, but that's not the one that I was expecting. So we'll have to follow up on that. So let me jump into, which, by the way, this is a great underrated sticker. So let me jump into now the results, especially since I got the champ on. Who knows how long he'll be on? Is the cards from my break of the Mega Cracks boxes. So basically, what I did is after we cracked it, I submitted the obviously Ronaldo's, which hopefully you guys have seen. If not, check out my Instagram there. And hey, by the way, if you guys are watching now, can you give me a like and a subscribe? Would be awesome. If you don't, if you can, it's just easy to hit that button. So if you can do that, I would really appreciate it. But the cards, I basically broke all the cards, and then actually, let me show you here. I'll just step aside here for a second, and I'll show you kind of the boxes and the cards. I'm just a voice from afar. So these are the boxes of the cards here. We went through, you know, me, which is Alex, myself, and Matt. We went through the cards and looked for other cards that made sense to sleeve, that were potentially valuable, especially in high grade. And you know, including, here's the checklist, many household names, Eto'o, Michael Owen when he was good, Puyol. I mean, so lots of them. Diego Forlan, a few, Figo. So looked at a lot of these, and then here's Roberto Carlos, and then just looked at them carefully. Said, hey, are these worth grading? And so, you know, ongoing through these checklists are like terribly miscut. I know it's hard to see here. So we went through and discerned, okay, out of all these cards, which ones could we grade, thinking that it needed to be kind of a 9, you know, a 9 to be worth it, kind of. And a 10 was clearly worth it. So if you thought it was at least a 9, let's grade it. So in total, I think we picked, I don't know, 15, 20 cards. Let me see. ultimately. 15 cards. Yeah, 15 cards. And so I went through that, and we graded 15 cards. And, you know, obviously we were doing this in a room. There's still tons of emotion there, and trying to look at them, you know, as carefully as we could. And, you know, we kind of went through and did it. So here's kind of the reveal. Thinking that most of these to our naked eye had a good chance at 9s, maybe some 10s, maybe you'd expect some 8s. I think on average we'd expect a 9. And remember, these are all fresh out of the box. I mean, literally, here's the box. You know, here's the box right here, right? So these cards were just pulled right out of these packs. Boom. Right out of these packs. And so you'd expect them to be relatively high grade. As I was pulling these, I was thinking to myself, wow, these just come out pretty rough. I mean, there's a lot of chipping along the edges. This is going to be hard to see on this level of camera. But if you just see like the top here, you can't really see that well. But there's just lots of white spots along the sides. You know, because of these darker borders, they show more. So there was, you know, a lot of that stuff. And, you know, in the end, still thought we had done a good job kind of segmenting out the ones that had the highest probability. You probably are getting the gist from me. It didn't turn out exactly like we thought. So let's go through the results. I've already seen these, by the way. So here's an Eto, came in at a 7. Again, pack fresh, hot from the pack, basically to PSA grading. Like no transport, nothing. It was just boom, boom, and I came back a 7. And all of these were just not gradable. These were like star cards that when you looked at them, you're like, okay, that's going to be a 7, 6, or lower. So it started off with a 7. Then I got the Mega Cracks list, since I got no Messi rookie. That one came back a 7. Here's a really nice Ronaldo R9. Was hoping for a 9, R9 and a 9, like Champ likes, but this is a 7. Still a cool card. Ronaldinho comes back at a 7 too. Then we had Rafa Marquez comes back at a 6. I mean, straight out of the pack. And it just, wow. I mean, even now when I look at the card, it's like, wow. Now, and I'll show you kind of later. You know, even a little bit more surprised. Here's a Beckham coming back at an 8. So I expected, you know, maybe we could get a few 8s of that. Here's Zidane coming back at an 8. I mean, these aren't terrible grades, but like for right out of the packs and being checked by me and Matt, PSA employee, lots of experience, we thought, hey, good shots at 9s. But here's Ronaldinho again at an 8. Then we have another R9 at an 8. And then we had the Barcelona Shield, which is the first card that I pulled, at an 8. This is really cool. It shines. Very cool. Barcelona is my favorite club. So that came back at an 8. We got Victor Valdez. This one did come back at a 9. You see it already kind of what do you call sorted these kind of. That's why you're getting the same thing. You get here's a Figo and a 9. So we did, you know, it wasn't like no 9s. The Rui Costa and an 8. These are the shiny ones, so that one's kind of more. They're going to be a harder grade. We have Quaresma coming back in a 9. That's a good card. Really good card. And the second one, you may recall, I pulled 2 Quaresmas and 2 CR7s. That came back in a 9. So that was good. And then we had, of course, the Real Madrid has come back in a 10. This one shines. So it's cool. The Shield comes back in a 10, and Barca comes back in an 8. Kind of my whole feeling of this Mega Cracks box was kind of like that. And then this Casillas came back. Yes, you're reading that right. A 3. And, you know, at first blush, right, you look at this card. I looked at this card. Matt looked at this card. I'm like, okay, sharp corners. Awesome. Good centering. Great. Not a lot of chipping. Fine. And we're looking at this in like natural light and whatever. And it comes back a 3. And then this is one of the things where I think I have a little bit, you know, more of an appreciation for PSA grading. So then they, you know, there's like a 50, you know, magnifying glass with like all the light on it. And there is actually a surface crease in the back. I don't think we're going to be able to see this. I'm going to try to get the right angle so that you can see this. See if I can catch the light. Okay, I can catch the light right there. Okay, right there. You can see right there, right by the reflection of the light. You see that little slight hairline line? And that's literally, you know, if you read their grading, their technical grading protocols, a crease in a card makes it a 3. And there is a crazy tiny little crease. How did it get there? I have no idea. This is right out of the pack, right? It's right out of the pack. But when I looked at this, I'm like, what? That's crazy. And we didn't see it with our naked eye. I mean, you really have to be like fully looking at the card and under the right light and angles. And sure enough, this is a 3. So while at first I was like head scratcher, not that this is a valuable card, and even if it was a 9 or a 10, it wouldn't have really mattered. But this, even at a 3, it's almost funny. Like I'm gonna keep it, and obviously it's part of the break, so that's cool. Then the last one, this one I was happy about. Super hard to get, and this is the Xavi in a 10. Pretty rare. So in total, when you looked at it, lots of 7s, you know, quite a few 8s, a few 9s, you know. Basically, what did we end up with? 2 10s. These were the 2 10s out of 15. And we discarded a ton of cards that were like what we would have wanted to grade, but we did not grade. And that's kind of where that ended. You know, and it just reminded me of how difficult, you know, you just can't assume that when you crack whatever it is, you're going to get a high grade, because I mean, you're not. Like, and then to think of the probability of getting 110 in the CR7 out of these and all the other ones that clearly weren't going to hit the mark becomes even more amazing. And I feel even better about the 8.5 too, CR7 as well, when you see kind of these results. And actually, when I look at the 7s and I look at them under high magnification, I think they're right. I think that they're right on these. So anyway, that's kind of fun. I don't know if you guys had any comments on these. I think it was, you know, clearly a great memory, you know, for me and Alex, and hopefully the community to watch that that break. So just looking for a place to put these right now. Put these over here, I guess. So that was fun. That's a PSA kind of return on that side. Let me see if anybody had any comments here before I move on. Nope, doesn't look like it. So I guess that was pretty straightforward. All right. This next one is from I think Golden. Yeah, Golden Auctions, I think. Let's take a look. I think you know, and some of the stuff may not even be soccer, because that's not the only thing that I collect. Golden Auctions, trying to remember what this was. Kind of fun when you forget. It's kind of like Christmas in October. Let's see. Okay, there's a lot of these. Now I think I'm like, why are there so many? They're not individually numbered, so I think I know what this is. Okay, so this is, yes. So these are the Futera. So this is a F1. Here's a Schumacher relic. So in a film cell, really kind of fun. These are really good. I like these Futera cards. So I want a near complete master set of these cards of the 2006 Futera Grand Prix. I really like them. Relatively low, print runs, some early kind of relics. Like this is an actual race worn relic of Schumacher. It's got some, nice. Here's a Fernando Alonso, early Fernando Alonso card. These were supposedly out of 275, but you never see them. A lot like the early kind of soccer relic cards out of Japan, where they're numbered to 400, but there's like 10, 20 graded. So yeah, there's a complete. Actually, I'm wondering where all the non-graded cards are. So there's quite a few graded cards in this, almost all Beckett. Kind of unfortunately, usually 7s or 8s. Here's a Schumacher here again. And then there are just the other cards. There's also some porcelain cards in this set, which make it kind of fun, very kind of unique, kind of another Futera type thing. There's some of these gold cards. Here's a Fernando Alonso again with these cells on them. Look at, I guess you probably can't see, but these, like this shot, this it's like a gold card, but this little thing is like a cell, so the light shines through. Like I can clearly see the car, his car, like on a film cell. It's really cool. Like in person, these things just look really cool. It don't look great on scans, don't look great through the TV there, but yeah. So there's a lot of this stuff. I probably don't need to open it all since this isn't typically an F1 channel, but let me just open one or two more here because these are really kind of cool looking cards. There's another Alonso, and these are like, first couple of years. I think he's got 2005 as well, Alonso. Cards, but this is fun. Here's another Schumacher. So, and then I just wanted to show one of these, what do you call it? The porcelain cards. I think these are so kind of unique that here's another Fernando Alonso. So basically, lots of the Alonsos and Schumachers were graded. The other ones, not so much. I think the set is more or less 100. Here's the Hamilton rookie. For whatever reason, PSA also just started grading all of these as authentic with no number grades. So I've never kind of got the full backstory about that. But I think that's kind of weird. And hopefully if somebody knows, you can let me know in the comments below. And the last one, I guess maybe the porcelains weren't graded. Yeah, here's another Fernando Alonso. So there's a lot of those, and then there is all of the other kind of general set, which is here, and I won't go through flip through all of this, but I'll give you a sense for what these look like in the binder. And I don't know. I mean, a big part of me was just thinking, grade this set. I do think it's an important F1 set, and it would be quite fun to grade. But with the cost of grading right now, it's just cost prohibitive. So here's, oh, this one fell out, but these cards are just so nice with the driver, in there, and the gold, and they're just heavy. So anyway, I will actually, I think I may just move these and just put these back in the box right now. That's probably the safest thing for me. And And I think Futera cards in general are just a little overlooked in the market. So for soccer or other sports, I know they're a little kind of outside the norm, but I feel like they make some really interesting, good products, and I think it's an important part of collecting. So that was that one. So let's go on to the next thing. Hey James, how you doing? Hey Ed, how you doing? Hopefully it's see you guys are getting some of the rain we're getting in New York up here. We are getting inundated with water. So let's see, I did that mail. What am I missing? Oh, I'm missing. Is this the REA one over here? Let's see. This one's a big one. Oh, I think I know why. I got some paintings in here. Yeah. So this one I think is the REA stuff. So let's see this. There's also some. What did I do with the box cutter? Oh, here it is. There is some REA. There's some Negro League kind of art stuff in here as well. From what I recall, but there should also be some Locker stuff. So let's have a look. All right. Some protective thing here. Yeah. So where do you live, James? Yeah, there's going to be a tremendous amount, I think, over the next couple of days in the city, like New York City. And then like right now I'm in South Carolina and we've got a tremendous amount here as well. Okay. So what's this? Big box, I know. Oh, this is fun. Most of the time when I collect autographs, which is not a lot, I prefer to do it on something that has kind of rock solid provenance. And this is a contract by Willard Brown, who is a Hall of Famer, where he'd make $175 a week and he'd get his round trip ticket and his housing paid for in Puerto Rico to play in Puerto Rico in 1948-49. That's the season. So it's really fun. Unfortunately, I have to take this out so you can see the signature. And I know most of you probably don't care about Negro League signatures, so I'll move on that one. And then there is another box here. It is a big box. Or did I send some of the soccer cards to the vault? Need a little bit more space here. So I'm going to break this on the ground so I can see what it is before I bring it up. All right. Okay. So there are, I think these are going to be, okay. So these are paintings. Again, Negro League paintings, which are not probably going to be of interest to most of you, but I will just show a couple. There's a bunch of these, but I will show you a couple that are really fun. Here's a great little Jose Mendez painting. Beautiful image. This photograph is just crystal clear, beautiful image. And there's a lot of others of that, as you can see, different styles. These ended up on Topps cards. So these are the actual artwork surrounding those Topps cards. I'm just trying to see if, like, from a card perspective, if they're the soccer cards that I got were in here. I could have had those sent to the vault. No, these are going to be all paintings. There's a large lot of paintings. Yeah, these are all paintings. So it's not. And then here is just another. It's J.L. Wilkinson. Really nice paintings, by the way. Very fun. Lots of work by talented artists. But again, ended up in the Topps cards. So you pull this out and see if that was it. Because I know I also had won some soccer cards, but I believe that I sent, now that I'm thinking of it, to the vault. I didn't actually get those home, and these, I mean, you can't really vault things like this that I just got. So, but here are some more. So that's why you got to check the boxes carefully. Maybe these are cards. So let's see. I'll check the packing slip too. Oh yeah. Oh, this is funny because this is something that I don't typically buy. So here is a Mbappe 2018 Prism PSA 10. It is the Blue Wave Prism. As I had mentioned in another presentation recently, I've actually found that Mbappe and Holland seem relatively undervalued. Given kind of the spikes that some of the other players have, and given some of the rookies. Here's a nice Shohei Ohtani. This comes from the 2017 World Baseball Classic, and it's Japanese. So this is like a pre-rookie card. Obviously, he has cards in Japan, but I really think this one's fun. And this is a Chrome Prospect, so that's kind of fun. And then I had on this one, just such a classic, and I love these stickers in general. Here's a Zidane and a 4. Also picked that one up at REA. So happy to have all 3 of those cards. Yeah, I mean, look at, I just think that I think that these mega box stuff are fun. And then, of course, Mbappe just, he's been a stalwart. He's going to be the highest World Cup goal scorer if France wins again, which, they have just about as good a shot as anyone. His legacy's like really kind of starting to get made. Like he's almost a made man, and he's still young. So it feels like, even though I'm a Barcelona fan, that feels like much more of a sure bet than Lamine Yamal being, the best player of the century. And if you look at prices, I mean, Lamine Yamal his market cap blows away Mbappe. So doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. I didn't see that goal. I'll have to look that one up, James. So yeah, I mean, in general, I think I agree. I think soccer cards are just amazing. It's just a great, part of the hobby. It's getting some more, respect recently with the Messi and Ronaldo things. If you guys can check out my video I just posted last week on Messi and Ronaldo rookies. Just posted one today on the best Messi rookie cards. And if you can like this video and subscribe if you're not subscribed, I'd certainly appreciate it. I think I had something else, but as usual, I'm kind of disorganized, and really I just want to get this stuff out and moving along so I can create some space here in my office. And thank you for letting me do that on this great Saturday afternoon. And I will check the comments here, see if there's anything anybody wanted to talk about. But otherwise, I guess we'll just see you guys next time. And hope you enjoyed this. And, you know, a little bit of everything, some baseball. The Dodgers are moving on, although I hate to see a Ohtani in a Dodgers uniform as an Angel fan. But those are fun. And the Mbappe, I think, is kind of underrated. Lots of fun art, some F1 stuff. The break, the PSA 10 on the Xavi Mega Cracks, that was fun. The PSA 3 on the Casillas, also kind of fun, and you know, rocked my world a little bit. The whole breaking thing again, just seeing how the cards came out of the packs, the bricking on the Mega Cracks has me have a new appreciation for kind of the grading process and how difficult it is to grade right out of a pack, especially these vintage packs. So that's all good. All right, I'll check out that goal, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And again, please like my video, subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Thanks, everybody.